Namaskaram, welcome to Jagriti Tv audience. We are all well aware that the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, with its glorious history of 100 years, continues its work of preserving Bharatiya values and promoting Hindu unity for the welfare of the world. The Sangh's influence is not limited to India. Inspired by the RSS, the Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh HSS conducts Hindu unity work abroad with a vision of world peace through Dharma. The HSS, which is also known as the Sangh Vishwa Vibhag, will organize the Vishwa Sangh Shivir in Hyderabad this December. In this context, we have an opportunity to interact with Sri Ravi Kumar Iyer garu, an RSS Pracharak, who also served at HSS as joint convener, to learn more about the Vishwa Sangh Shivir. Sri Ravi Kumar is a prominent writer, speaker and influencer. Namaskaram Ravi Kumar ji, welcome to Jagriti TV.
Thank you. And my namaskar to all the Jagriti viewers.
Sir, you have dedicated nearly 5 decades of your life as a social worker for the Sangh. What is the inspiration behind this dedication?
The inspiration is very simple. I had several role models in front of me. I used to look at them and then follow their footsteps. Professor Yashwantrao Kelkar of Mumbai, then Professor Dattatreya Didolkar. He was Prantapacharak in Tamil Nadu, then I met him in Nagpur, and he was also with Vidyarthi Parishad. So these were all some of the great pioneers of our movement. So looking at their life, I took inspiration and became full-time worker.
Sir, you have been associated with RSS for a long time. Yet, critics often call the organization divisive. How do you respond to that perception, especially when you represent Bharat abroad?
I'll tell you something that happened in Andhra Pradesh. In the year 1977-78, there was a severe flooding, that is cyclone in Dibi Taluka, Andhra Pradesh. Coastal Andhra Pradesh was devastated by cyclone. At that time, within a few hours, 10,000 people died. But immediately our RSS youngsters, volunteers, went there, and you can easily identify because of their half pant, and they were removing the dead bodies and they were clearing all these people. So one Congress leader, seeing this, he said RSS means ready for selfless service, RSS. And if you see in 1963, the Republic Day parade, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said, in 1962, we lost to the Chinese. Now the morale of the people is down, we have to increase it. So call RSS, they also will join the Republic Day parade. So like this, there are many examples where RSS has been respected by those very people who said RSS is bad. For example, the Congress people. The Congress leader who said RSS means ready for selfless service. It is Nehru who said that RSS people are patriotic. Indira Gandhi also said, we may have difference of opinion with RSS, but their commitment to the country's growth is unquestioned. So we have such examples. When you tell these things, people understand. And people also know whenever there is an accident, whenever there is a train accident, there is a flood, RSS is visible in seva activities.
Sir, the Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh is planning to organize the Vishwa Sangh Shivir in Hyderabad this December. Please let us know the purpose of this Shivir and the details about the participants.
See, Sangha is now working in all the 5 continents. When you say 5 continents, some people may say 6, some people may say 7. But in Asia, in Europe, in Africa, in North America, in South America, all these 5 continents, Indians are spread out. Thanks to a called internet, thanks to called IT. So, in this information technology world, there are 200 countries in the world. At least in 150 countries, Indians have reached. Without Indians, that country cannot make any development or progress. To that extent, Indians have got expertise on information technology. So when the Indians have gone there, they want to first to celebrate Deepavali, they want to celebrate Ramayana, etc. And they want their children to imbibe discipline and about our culture. Because they are studying in a classroom of 50, there's only one Indian boy. All rest are either Chinese or Arabs or they are Americans, depending on country where they have migrated. So they don't want their children to drift away from what is only in India. The diversity is very less. So we don't want all this family quarrel and all which is happening around the world to happen in my family. I want my grandson also to be an Indian. So with this, they want searching. So this is where RSS plays that is Hindu science section plays a role, and Hindu science section growing. Now, because the world is so vast and so many countries, 60 countries we are working, we are having more than 1,600 branches. They know about their activities in their country. But once in 5 years, they all come together at one place in India. India is the heartbeat of everyone. It is convenient. When they come to India, they can also meet their parents, they can meet their relatives, they can meet their friends. So India is, and they want to show to their children what is India. So they come here for once in 5 years. At that time, they meet with each other. They exchange their, so what are the problems? Starting a shaka in Sri Lanka is very tough because LTT was going on. So how did you work? They come to know from them. In some Western countries, it's very easy, but there are some problems. In Western countries, you cannot have certain things. You cannot hoist a flag unless you pay for it. And other than, these are small things. And they exchange these ideas, and after that, when they go back, the Sangha work grows very fast. So once in 5 years is necessary. But organizing every year is not possible because people don't have that much time. And then it's a very costly affair. So once in 5 years is a fairly good one. I can give some statistics on that. First time we brought all these people, 200 delegates came from 20 countries in 1990 at Bengaluru. And if you go by the last one, from 20 countries we have come to 55 countries. And from 200 we have come to 2,000 delegates. So we are expecting 2,000 delegates now this time, maybe from 70 countries. So we have made 10 times more progress in this.
Raviji, please share the details of the outcomes of the past Shivirs.
In the 1990 was the first Shivir we had. And I will tell one very interesting thing. In Hong Kong, I was sitting at our Karya Ishwar Mehtani's office, in his house. Now, Ishwar Mehtani is Hong Kong is a place where most of the Sindhis are 0.4% in the population. But their contribution to the export of goods is 10%. It's mind-boggling. In those days, Hong Kong was ruled by British governor. The governor invariably in his annual speech will say, we are very proud of the Indian business people who are bringing wealth to our country. So 10% by 0.4% of the population is a very big number. So our people are all very well-to-do, they are Sindhis and very honest. They are the best taxpayers in that country. So all these things were there. And Ishwar Mehtani himself is selling some of the Indian fabrics. And he is sending it all over the world. In his house, there was another Sindhi who had come from Las Palmas. Las Palmas is a Spanish territory in African region, North Africa. So he had come for buying and taking to his house, and so they both are Sindhis. And this is how the export in the world grows. So he was staying in another room, and I thought he must have slept. So we were talking about the preparation for the next coming, our Adhikari. So I was talking about Lakshmanrao Bhideji is coming, etc. After some, slowly he came out and said, you are talking of Bhideji. Is he a very thin person? I said, yes. Is he a very fair, handsome looking person? I said, yes. And he is extremely smiling and very kind person? I said, yes. Then he said, I have met him. I said, tell me what happened. He said, very interesting thing. I think it's an inspiration for me and for the listeners also. They may have something meaningful in their life. He said, I was elected as secretary for the temple in Las Palmas. Various Sindhis are there, Sindhi Association, and then we have a temple. There I was in. And our temple is fairly good. And there is only one flight a week from London to Las Palmas and back to London. So anybody who comes to Las Palmas has to stay for 1 week and then he can go back. These were the days in 1970s, 80s, 90s, etc. So a person in London, he phoned me and said, there is one religious person who wants to come and meet all the Indian community. His name is Lakshman Rao Bhideji. Can you arrange for his stay? He said, fine. For us, anybody coming, an Indian coming from overseas for religious purpose is a great boon, because we have to pay a huge amount. He is coming on his own. So we were very happy. Said, I will. So I went to the airport, picked him up, and kept him in there. In the temple, there are guest houses. So he was staying there, and told him this. Then Lakshman Rao Bhideji took out a paper and said, I want to meet this person, this person, this person. He had the names of various Sindhis who were active in Karachi, who were active in before partition in those. So I said, yes, I'll send my driver. He will take you to these places. He said, why driver? How far is it? It is a question of 4 or 5 kilometers. Yeah, I can walk. So every day he will go and meet various people with this on his own walk. Even when I send them transport, he will not accept, and he will. Then I told him, please come to my house for breakfast. So he came. And that time my son and daughter, whenever anybody comes from India, very rarely people come, they keep on asking questions. The Sindhis, they observe Monday as fasting day. Generally, they don't eat non-veg on that. So he asked the question, why does God want me to not to eat non-veg on Monday? Why not Tuesday? We went on asking various questions. Why do you break coconut, etc.? So Lakshman Rao Bhideji very calmly answered him. See, there should be uniformity in society. You must fix one day. If you say that I will go to school on Monday and another person says I will go on Tuesday, then the teacher cannot teach. So there must be some timetable, there must be some. So in the society, there must be discipline. So my son and daughter, they liked it. They said, first of all, any religious leader who comes, he said, hey, this is not your subject. This is not for children. So generally, they don't get any answers. But he went on. So my son said, please invite him for tomorrow. So from that, this guest started coming to mass almost every day. And every day, last question, every day he was answering. On the last day, my son said, this person is having a very old-fashioned watch, HMT watch. Why not we buy a gift for him? Now, I was very happy. I said, yes. So they went for shopping. They brought in those days, quartz watch had come. LCD watches were very famous. Just entered into market and they were very cheap. So he purchased those 2-3 varieties and said, next day when he came, we gave him this. So he took it and they had breakfast. And then while going, he said to my son, you gave me, I really appreciate your love, but you keep it with you. Because I already have a watch. He said, it's a very old watch. Then Lakshman Rao Bhideji said, the purpose of the watch is to show time. It is showing correct time. So why should I have? Then my son said, okay, have one more. He said, if I wear 2 watches in 2 hands, people will laugh at me. So I don't need one more. And while going, he said, look, my son, having more than what is required also is amounting to stealing. So that is what our Hinduism is. So for me, one is enough. Thank you very much, but I'll always remember that you were kind enough to give me. He went away. But something dramatic happened in my house. My son and daughter, every Saturday, they will go for shopping. And they'll buy one new t-shirt. But now I am seeing my children don't go. So I asked them one day, what happened? For last 5 weeks, you have not been shopping. I said, no, Bhideji told, having more than necessary is amounting to stealing. So whenever I open my wardrobe, I see so many t-shirts. I'm scared. So I'm not worried. The story doesn't end here. After some years, there was severe crisis because of Nigeria's economy going down. And all of us, we had taken loan from the bank. We were in severe crisis. The bankers are saying, give us our money. And we had purchased a lot of goods to send to Nigeria, and Nigeria is not accepting it. So we were crushed. But we had to sell the sports car. We had to sell all the costly things. Our office we had to sell. We had to come to only one house, smaller house. In every other house, the sons will not accept selling the sports car. No, you sell anything you want, but you don't touch my items. But my children completely cooperated with me. After some time, the crisis was over. We were able to rise. But at the time of crisis, it was only Bhideji who saved my family. Then I said, will you join and come to our Definitely I will come for the Shivir. He was not a Swayamsevak, but he was. So this is how our pioneer the Adhikaris have shown the path for us.
This is really an inspiring incident as well as a lesson to the present generation, sir. Sir, you have spent more than 36 years abroad and conducted over 1,000 workshops worldwide. What is the core message you wish to convey to the global audience?
Now, thank you very much. I was fortunate enough that Sangha thought of sending me to overseas, and because of that I was able to interact with overseas Indians and with non-Indians also equally. During my travel, I studied Vedic mathematics, and I found that this is something unique. It's a great contribution of India, Bharat, to the world. So because of that, I was invited in so many universities, and I was interacting with non-Indian students also, research scholars, professors, with all this. One such incident which people may like it is, there is an institution called the British Royal Society. Only very few people are invited by them to give lectures. So they thought that I am one of those persons who should address them. And the president of that organization, he instructed me this: the audience is full of scholars. They know most of the subjects. They just want to know something more from you. So speak only for 40 minutes, and then 20 minutes question answer, we'll finish in 1 hour. I said, okay. So my subject was India's contribution to the world in science, technology, mathematics, etc. And after 40 minutes, I stopped. So two of the professors stood up and said, you said that India has contributed in algebra also, in geometry also, and in physics also, chemistry also, but you are hiding it from us. I said, time given to me is 40 minutes, over. He said, no, we want to know everything. Then the president said, okay, continue. And it went on for 2.5 hours. It was already night 10 o'clock. Again, the president said, now let us stop. And during vote of thanks, the president of this Royal Society said, I don't think anybody in Royal Society would have spoken for 2.5 hours, and still people want to listen. So thank you very much, he said. So I thought that India's contribution to the world is not known to Indians as well as to non-Indians. That was the core message I had carried with me. Wherever, whatever subject is given, I should talk to them about India's contribution in that field. India is one of the oldest civilizations in the world, richest civilizations in the world. So almost in everything, India has given something which should be told.
Sir, subjects like yoga, Vedic mathematics, and Bharatiya culture are often unfamiliar to people abroad. What challenges did you face while conveying these subjects to them?
That is true. If you take the first letter of Sanskrit, Yoga and Gita, Sai Yogi. Sai means Sanskrit, Yo means Yoga, and Gi means Gita. So it becomes easy to remember Sanyogi. There are many universities outside India where Sanskrit is taught. And therefore, at least some scholars in the world, they know that Sanskrit is the mother of all the European languages. Generally, people don't accept it. So the challenge is how to communicate this to the local people. And if you tell that some Shankaracharya has said, some Vivekananda has said, they don't understand who is Vivekananda. So one of the examples that I used to tell them was, when Dr. Abdul Kalam went to Greece, the president of Greece, his name was Carlos Popoulias. He invited him and spoke for 20 minutes in Sanskrit language. So Abdul Kalam, our president, was surprised that he's saying, Atiti Devo Bhava, Adhyaksha Mahodaya, Swagatam Yavana Deshe. And then we asked him, how is it that you learn so fluent in Sanskrit? He said, when I wanted to learn ancient Greek language, the German professor asked me, why you want to learn this ancient Greek language? I said, it is the mother of all European languages. Then he said, the mother of ancient Greek and Latin is also Sanskrit. So will you learn it? Then I learned Sanskrit. Sanskrit is the mother of 40% of the languages of the world. So, this when you tell that Greek president has said, then people accept it. So I went on searching for such examples from their point of view. I have collected a few of them. Everything is inspiring. I can tell you one more example. In our dreams, we always think of Italy. For some reason or the other, Italy is very familiar to us. In Italy, there was a prime minister called Benito Craxi. He came to India not at the invitation of Rajiv Gandhi. During Rajiv Gandhi's time, he came, but he came to Puttaparthi. He came to Bengaluru. So Rajiv Gandhi phoned and asked him, "Arey, brother," in Hindi they will say, if anybody coming from Italy, he will say that is his wife's place. So Sala is the word for brother-in-law. So he said, "Sale, tum Bengaluru क्यों आ रहे हो? दिल्ली आना चाहिए." They said, "I am not coming for any political reason, for economic reason, for any diplomatic reasons. Elections have been declared in my country. I want to win the elections, so I want to take the blessings of Puttaparthi Sai Baba. He is my Guru."
Really surprising, sir.
There are many such incidents, you can say. So these things made me easy to convey many things.
Raviji, speaking of yoga, I recall you mentioning the benefits of Indian sit-ups known as Topu Karanam in Tamil and Gunjillu in Telugu. Could you please provide more information about this practice?
See, if you go walk on the streets of Chennai, any city in Tamil Nadu, anywhere in Tamil Nadu, and if you see one temple of Ganesha, immediately the people going around that, they will stop for a minute, they will catch their ears and they will sit up, do sit-ups. Even in our house, when we have the Vigraha and some puja is performed, immediately after that, when Aarti is there, all of us, we do these sit-ups with catching the ears in a particular way. Now, the modern science is saying that this makes any student extremely intelligent because all the nerves in the brain, they come to the ear tip. And when you do the sit-up, you are pulling this portion in a proper way, not too much painful and not too little. And because of that, the student becomes extremely intelligent. When we were small in schools, the teacher used to tell us if we forget our multiplication table and we don't remember some of the questions, they said, "Do this." We thought he's punishing us. No, he's empowering us. So this Topu Karanam is great ingenuity. Now this is being used in around the world for traumatic patients, for so people who have got mental disease. They are all cured in Western hospitals also by doing Topu Karanam. It improves your mental power.
That's really great advice, sir. Without spending a single penny, you can save your energy both mentally and physically. Sir, coming to your writings, your book, Indian Heroism in Israel, has influenced school curricula. How can we conclude that writing history can be effectively utilized as a tool for cultural diplomacy?
Very good question. Many of my books that I have written have cultural, also diplomatic angle to it. For example, I wrote yoga. Now, thousands and thousands of people, lakhs of people have written on yoga, how to do yogasana. But I did not write how to do yogasana. I said how many prime ministers are doing yogasana. How many music singers, world famous, they are doing yogasana. Hollywood actors and actresses doing yogasana. So when these names are familiar to football players, rugby players. So the Indian youth as well as youth anywhere in the world, they are familiar with these names and they are the role models for them. And when I say that they are doing yoga, it catches very quickly with it. I had not printed that book. I had just made 50 copies and given to some Sangha Adhikaris. Then what happened is one day a phone call came from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Said, "Why you have not printed it?" I said, "Anybody who wants to print, let him print. I am a lazy person." No, I want to print it. Then I said, "Prime Minister should not waste his time in printing this. No, I want this for it. Because you have mentioned various Prime Ministers. For example, Obama's wife, Michelle Obama, is expert in yogasana. And every year during Good Friday, She invites 10,000 people to White House and teaches them yoga. Because it's a national holiday. Your Good Friday is in April. So this is a very strong point. So I want this book. I said, you can print, but provided you give the message there. So he gave a message. It is printed in my book, and then it has gone all over the world. He printed it and sent it to 200 countries of the world. So that is, you should always have a message for the world, India-centric message. Similarly, the Battle of Haifa, that is called Indian heroism in Israel. This is a battle in which the brave soldiers of Mysore Maharaja, Jodhpur Maharaja, and Bhavnagar Maharaja went all the way to Israel. It was ruled for 400 years by Ottoman Turks, and they defeated the Ottoman Turks. The Turks were sitting on top of a hill with cannons and rifles and automatic rifles. So the Britishers thought that we are here and they are there, therefore we will be killed. So the Britishers, they retreated. But our Rajput soldiers said, we are answerable to our Maharaja. And he will ask, what a shame on you, you retreated. In the Rajput history, there is no question of retreat. We have come here, now we will go and fight. These people are only on foot. They are no jeep. There are no machine guns with them. They were having only swords and spears. And they were, some of them on horses and others were all running. And the enemy is on top. And with all the modern warfare equipments. So they said, all of you will be massacred. He said, I don't know. For not fighting, you have got 100 reasons. For fighting, we have only one reason. We are Rajputs. We cannot go back to our country and say, I'm sorry. No. Okay, up to you. So we went and we defeated the Ottoman Turks who were there for 200 years. The tanks, their artillery guns, everything was defeated by swords and spears. The only war in the world where the swords and spears have defeated the cannons and the automatic rifles. But our Indians don't know this. So when I told Manohar Parrikar, our defense minister, to come and release my book, he said, all my military generals are saying, Ravi Kumar's book is fake, don't go for this. So I'm not coming. I said, up to you. But the Israel ambassador is saying, I was born in the place where you all died for my country. That place is called Haifa. My birthplace is Haifa. So he wrote in the website that Ravi Kumar's book is authentic, I vouch for it, and I am going to release the book. So when Manohar Parrikar came to know that Israel ambassador wants to release, then he phoned Tel Aviv, that is where our Indian ambassador in Israel is sitting. He asked Jaydeep Sarkar, so what is this? Is it true? So Jaydeep Sarkar also said, 2 years before Ravi Kumar came and told me, at that time I did not know much about this war, but it is true. The mayor of that city, Haifa city, says, our country got freedom because of your sacrifice. 900 Indians have died. 900 is not a small number. You must release this book. So he told me, Ravi Kumar, tomorrow I am coming and releasing your book. Now my book is taught to the military people and they know all these things. So if your book, in addition to simple narration, some story, it should have some impact around the world. Like that, my 6 books have got 6 impacts.
Raviji, one of your writings is a prescribed text for RSS camps. What core message does this book convey?
I was invited for a Guru Puja Utsav in Chennai. And they said, we have selected you because they want somebody to give a Bauddhic in English. Pracharak to give a Bauddhic in English is very rare. Sudarshan ji can give, Mohan Rao Bhagwat can give, now our Sarkar Eva, he can give. But in those days, very few people, Sangachalaks are there, there are highly esteemed people, they can give. But they wanted a Pracharak to come and give in English, because in Chennai, they were invited all esteemed people and they belong to different parts of India. So it's a cosmopolitan atmosphere. There you have to give a message of something. So then I had to, it was also Guruji's centenary year will be celebrated in a few years' time. So I took up in 100 years, how India has progressed in last 100 years. So various verticals I showed that India has made tremendous progress in these 100 years. So after the program was over, There were so many times in between, they were clapping and clapping and clapping. I'll give you one example. I said I went to the residence of Mittal, you know, this steel king.
Yeah.
So, Lakshmi Nivas Mittal. He said he's in London. His father, Mohanlal Mittal, was known to me, and we have traveled together for Hindutva. So, when I went to meet Mohanlal Mittal in his house, who is sweeping the house? English lady. And all the servants are all English people. The driver was an Englishman. Even the toilet is cleaned by an English person.
Really surprising.
When I said the toilets of an Indian house is cleaned by, they were clapping and clapping and clapping. The English ruled over us for 2,000 years, 200 years, and now this is the condition of English people. So like that, I told them the facts that I have seen around and how Indians are respected in countries after country. That book became a bestseller within RSS. And then Surya Narayan Rao said, you write this book, write this book. So he was after me for 2 years. Finally, I was able to write a bigger version than the book, and then they have told in the Sangha Baitak that from now onwards, we will not say that India is a backward country, India is a struggling country. No, we will say this as the benchmark, how Indians are shining around the world. Even in cricket, Tendulkar is scoring runs. All those things are mentioned in that. So now, Bharat ko jano, Bharat ko mano, Bharat ke bano. That is the message of that book.
This particular incident is really inspiring, sir. It should reach every Indian. Sir, your other book is Ramayana Outside Bharat. What was the underlying thought behind writing this book?
See, many people have written on Ramayana. So they will write on Tulsi Ramayana, they will write on Valmiki Ramayana, Tamil Nadu, they will write on Kamba Ramayana. But very few people know that there is a Cambodian Ramayana, there is an Indonesian Ramayana, there is a Ramayana has inspired all Southeast Asia. In fact, the Cholas and the Pandyas who ruled Tamil Nadu, they also went overseas. Pallavas also went, and they carried Ramayana around the world. So when I went to these countries, Thailand and all, there is a city called Ayodhya. So people are surprised. There is Ayodhya. There is suppose there is a river in Bangkok. That river is called Chao Phraya. But local people never call it a Chao Phraya. They will say Ma Chao Phraya. To put that adjective Ma in front, preface, we say Ma Ganga, Ma Kaveri, like that. So all these things, they say we learned only from India because of Ramayana, because of Sanskrit, because of Buddhism, etc. So I thought I must write this Ramayana because I never knew this before. Now I know that. Like me, there are many people who are not aware of. That's why I wrote.
Sir, recently you helped initiate an international body in Oslo based on Sanatana Dharma. What is the role of that body?
In the year 1920, League of Nations was formed, international body to bring peace, prosperity, development. But it could not stop the Second World War. Then after the Second World War in 1945, around 1950, United Nations was started. But it could not stop all the wars that was taking place in Africa, in Vietnam, in Afghanistan, around the world. Today also war is going on in Yemen, in Syria, and the United Nations is helpless. It could not solve. What is missing in all this thinking of the world leaders is, we talk about our rights, human rights. We never talk about human duties. And if you see Vedas, Sanatana Dharma is based on duties. Duties and rights are two sides of a coin. In the performance of the duty of the father, the rights of the children are protected. So children don't have to ask for rights. Father is doing his duty, the children are getting their rights. When the children are doing their duties, the father's rights are protected. So this way we have to work. So a duty conscious, Sanatana Dharma based organization alone can bring peace in the world. For that, I can give one example from American history. In America, there is a place called Georgia. In Georgia, there is a church. The father of the church is called Eddie Smith. In every Sunday gathering, Eddie Smith says, say Namaste. Everybody says Namaste. He says, shouts, says, say loudly Namaste. And everybody is shouting Namaste, Namaste, Namaste. Just as we say Bharat Mata ki Jai, Jai Hind, etc. There, the slogan is Namaste. And he says Namaste. Namaste means the divinity within me salutes the divinity within you. Namaha Aste. Aste means there is a divine power in you, there is a divine power in me, and I want to salute that divine power. Then he continues, that A.D. Smith, pastor. He says, when two Americans meet, they say hi. Hi has got no meaning. And they go on discussing, and if they are agitated, one of them pulls out a gun and shoots. So gun culture is there. So it cannot stop violence. Whereas when I see something divine in you, you see something divine in me, then you don't feel like killing me. It is killing yourself. So unless the whole world follows Namaste, there can be no peace. A.D. Smith is saying. So this is the greatness of Sanatana Dharma. Based on Dharma and Karma, based on Papa and Punya, based on Shraddha, we have to have a world organization. That is why we are working for it.
Exactly, sir. In that way, our Bharatiya Namaskaram helps us find God, the divine power in each other. Sir, you and your team recently helped Malaysian Hindus in reducing suicides and religious conversions. What was the key behind this great success?
So whenever I go to any country, I study their history, I study the Indians population, their contribution, etc. In that, I try to find out what are the areas in which some improvement is required. So when I was there in Malaysia, I was based in Hong Kong for 10 years. Then I was based in Bangkok for 10, 12 years. And I used to go to Malaysia very regularly. So when I went to Malaysia, the newspaper was telling that a letter has come from United Nations blaming Malaysian Prime Minister that you are not doing anything. The suicide in Cameron Highlands is very, very dangerous. So do something, they were saying. Now, then when I inquired, I came to know that whenever a stinging letter comes from United Nations to Prime Minister, he'll pass on the letter to Chief Minister. Do something. Reduce the death rate, otherwise our name will be bad in the world arena. So Chief Minister will send to the collector, do something. The collector was trying to do whatever possible to reduce the death. The most of the people who are dying in Cameron Highlands were Indians. It is about 80,000 Indians are living in Cameron Highland, where every day somebody or the other is committing suicide, especially ladies and girls. So when I was there, there was an incident when two girls were studying in the same class. Their parents were telling them that she is from another caste and you are from another caste. Don't sit next to her. Both the girls committed suicide. Why they commit suicide so easily? Because Cameron Highland is on a plateau. There, lot of tea garden is there, lot of special fruit gardens are there. The garden that require little cold climate, strawberry and all are growing there. And Malaysia earns a lot of foreign exchange because of this highland. So cabbage and all, they grow there. So along with that, they have a lot of pesticide at home, all the farmers. So there is some problem, take this pesticide and kill yourself. It was a normal practice there. And in no newspaper will ever carry that there 2 people have died or 3 people have died. Every day people are dying, so nothing is happening. We thought we have to work on that. So we addressed our Swayamsevaks, start a shakha there. Going to Cameron Highlands from Kuala Lumpur is very tough in those days because the transport was not there. From the office, you have to go to the main bus stop. From bus stop, you have to go to one place. From there to another place. Finally, you have to go up like this. So, but all that, our people started going. Most of the Tamil Sangha Swayamsevaks, they were all in their 14, 15, 16, 18, 20 years of age and hardly any money, pocket money with them. So I arranged some money from Hong Kong business people for this cause. And they were going every Saturday, Sunday. Friday they'll go, come back on Sunday night. And slowly they interacted with the children, with the mothers, with the parents, and they started bhajan group, they started yoga classes. And one day a letter comes from United Nations to the Prime Minister, congratulations. The death rate has become normal. Please give us a report. Now they don't have any report. So he sent to the chief minister, give me a report, congratulations. He sent to the collector, congratulations, give me a report. The collector was worried. He said, I didn't do anything extraordinary, but something has happened. So he sent his team of police people and others and some teachers. They all said it is the Hindu Seva Sangh which has created this. So they invited our Sangha Pracharaka Ramaji and gave him $50,000 and appreciated him.
Really an extraordinary job, sir. Sir, following the recent controversial death of AI expert Suchir Balaji in the USA, we have seen attacks on Hindus and Indians in various countries across the globe, including Bangladesh and Pakistan. Considering this situation, what message do you give to HSS workers abroad regarding the motto of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam?
I will tell you an incident that took place some time back. In Australia, several Indians or students who go there for studies, they were beaten up. Again and again they were killed. Some of them were killed and many of them were beaten up. Now the newspaper here said that Australian government is very bad and they are treating our Indian students in a negative way. But if you observe the court proceedings, the person who had hit the Indians and he was sentenced to jail, in the court he says, when I am released from the jail, I will kill these kafirs again. So now you know, in Australia, who is killing them? The Indians. One who believes in kafir. So it is not the Australian government is telling them to kill. These countries, Western countries, have got a lot of refugees coming from Syria, from Yemen, from Afghanistan. And these people are killing the Indians. But the newspaper here does not tell the truth, the whole truth. And therefore, we are carried away by the sentiments. In Australia or in any Western countries, they cannot say that the person who has committed this crime is coming from Afghanistan or is coming from Syria. They say he's an Australian citizen. But you have to look a little deeper into it. Then you know that normal Australians, normal Americans don't do indulge this because the punishment is very severe. So they are law-abiding people, generally speaking. They may have some angle against you because you are winning all the competitions. Our children are always intelligent. So when they have spelling bee competition, Indian children always win. So they may feel bad about it, but they cannot injure anybody. The law is very strict. At least after 1965, the law in America and Western countries is very, very fair to all the people. It is fair to Indians. I say these circumstances are misunderstood only in India, not in overseas. People are living in Western countries for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. They have never seen any persecution. The persecution came only after the refugees from these war-torn areas went to these Western countries. Before that, there was no persecution. So they don't need my message. They tell me, Ravi Kumar, where did you see all these things? You are here for 30 years. Why are you saying like this? So it is only the Indian newspaper which wants to make some political bias against it. Otherwise, nobody is. Indians are not running away from America and coming back to India. They are coming back to India for serving India. That is different, not because of persecution.
Sir, what do you consider to be your next biggest mission in the coming days?
See, I am working for the minorities of Bangladesh. The Hindus are the biggest minorities. So, in the word Hindu is misunderstood, but the word minority is accepted. When you say the minorities are being tortured, the whole United Nations, everybody feels that, oh, this is very bad. So, for the Bangladeshi massacre of Hindus in the last 1 year, so we have made a very big dossier, giving all the newspaper cuttings. Many of them are in Bengali, that they are also in English, and we presented it to European Union. We said, you must do something. The European Union said, nothing is happening in our newspaper, so how can we believe this? But we showed all these things. We made them phone the professors in Dhaka. Then they said, very bad, we should do something. So they called a meeting of European Union members and passed a resolution saying that we are sending a team of experts to watch what is really happening in Bangladesh. So this message was sent to Yunus. After that, the killings are reduced. Perhaps it is reduced. At least in big cities it has reduced. In small cities, what happens, small towns, what happens, nobody knows. But there is a fear in the mind of the administrator there, Muhammad Yunus. Then they said, goods that are coming from Bangladesh to Europe are having no GST, no tariff, because Bangladesh is a slowly developing country. But now this is all soaked in blood of the minorities. So we will put tariff on you. So because of that, Indian export is increasing. So this has crushed their economy. So this we were doing this. We contacted various overseas Bangladeshis, Bengali Hindus, and said we must help them. This is going on. In Bangladesh, there are only two parties. One is headed by Khalida Zia, another is headed by this Sheikh Hasina. The Hindus from here, they will get voted. Hindus from this party will get voted. We said we must have a voice of the Hindus. So let us form a party. So we have formed Bangladesh Minorities Rights Party, BMRP, and went for a registration. There were a lot of questions. In a normal way, any election commission has to ask questions. So where is your head office? Where is your, are you paying the rent, or is it owned by, etc., etc. All those questions we answered. Now it has been registered. Now all the Buddhists, all the tribals, all the Hindus, and 1% Christians, they all will fight the election under this. And once they get elected as this, we will take them to various parts of the world. So this is one mission we are now doing for them. They said, for our Bangladeshis, nobody has done like this. At the same time, war is going on in Syria. In Syria, there are a community called Druze Muslims. These Druze Muslims are actually believe in Punarjanma. They believe in karma and dharma. They believe in family values. They don't have other like 4 wives and all, they don't. So more or less they are living like Hindus. But for survival, they have to say we are Druze Muslims. The identity is Druze, and they have to say survival is Muslim. They have to say. Same way Yazidis are there. The Kurds are there. These are all highly victimized people. The ISIS is killing them in big number. So we have working with them, and we have formed a big platform. 50 leaders, Druze leaders from various countries have come under, and they have addressed, don't worry, this is not your problem, it is our problem. So the Druze understand that nobody in the world has tried to bring these 50 people in one platform for our benefit. These Druze who was staying in a particular place called Sweda, 3 areas ISIS has cornered and said that no food will go and they will starve to die. And the 4th area is with Jordan. So we spoke to the Jordan king. He said, please open the border because they are starving and dying. Initially they said, if I open, all the refugees will come to my country. We don't want so many refugees. So we assure you that they will not come because we are now talking to them. But let the food we have collected from various parts of the world, let it go. Then finally he also agreed. Now the food is going inside, so people are now getting something. So K said that nobody has done this much for us. So this is what we are doing. So wherever there are minorities who are under this pressure, we should do something for it. That is what Vishwa Kutumbakum stands for.
A really great effort, sir.
It is nothing great by me because Zoom is available. This electronic media is available. We are able to talk to them on WhatsApp is available. I request everyone, please spend 1 hour a week. 6 days in a week, you work for your career, you work for your personal, you work for your family, you work for your friends, etc. But one day you give for Bharat Mata. Just give 1 hour a week, get into the internet. You may be doing some Seva activities, Seva Bharati, then Vigyan Bharati, etc. That you do, but give 1 hour for extra on the internet. In internet, you have got what is called Google. And internet, you also have YouTube. These two can educate any person more than what Ravi Kumar can teach you. So spend some time, 1 hour every day on this. And I will tell you what happened. In Australia, there is one Sangha karyakarta called Dinkar. He also started internet learning. And then there is 2 more things inside this. It's called WhatsApp. Because of this WhatsApp, you can talk to anybody in the world. So connectivity is established through this. Knowledge first you acquire for 6 months, then start talking to the world leaders. So he started talking to the world leaders and said, do you think Marconi is a scientist. Then he got a letter from IEEE, Institute of Electrical Electronics Engineers, saying that Marconi is a thief. We are ashamed of him. He stole the instruments of Dr. Jagdish Chandra Bose and went to Newfoundland in Canada and patented it in his name. So actual father of radio is Dr. Jagdish Chandra Bose. This Dinkarji was able to do because of internet facility available today. Because of this internet, I wrote the book. All these books I have written because of the help of this internet. That's why India-Israel relationship has improved. Prime Minister went all the way to Haifa and put a plague there, which was not known to our generals before. Similarly, on yoga also I wrote. When I went to Singapore, I told the Chamber of Commerce, Indian Chamber of Commerce, that the history taught in Singapore is wrong. This is the true history. Please talk to the Prime Minister because he has access. So he went to the Prime Minister and said, my article he showed him. Now there is a statue for Sanganila Uttama in Singapore. Singapore used to say we are 200 years old. Because 200 years before, Stamford Raffle has come. Now they say we are 1000 years old because 1000 years before Sanganila Uttama came. That I was able to get from the internet. And there is a statue for Narayan Pillai because I told he came here 200 years before. He made this into a economic viable country. So in Singapore is thriving economically because of Narayan Pillai. So statue for that. Similarly, when I went to Sydney, I told the government that Indians 100 years before, they were Australian citizens. They fought for Australia and flag in the First World War. So now in Sydney, there is an Indian memorial built. All these things because of spending some time on the internet. I request all of you, please spend some time through YouTube and through Google, learn something. And having acquired your knowledge, talk to the world leaders and change the history of India-centric history should be there in the world.
Raviji, what is your message to the youth of Bharat who want to serve the society globally?
The youth of Bharat should spend 1 hour on the internet to acquire knowledge more about Bharat. The real history of Bharat has not been told improperly. But get into this research mode. There are different applications of this mobile. We use mobile to talk to somebody. That is one. Then sometimes we use play cards in this. So some entertainment. Sometimes we want to hear some music. Sometimes we want to see the match going on. All these things you do. But one thing you can do is research. Get into Google, get into YouTube, do research, learn something. And after learning, use WhatsApp, use Facebook, use Twitter, and try to influence people of the world that India-centric history should be taught to the world.
So, Dhanyavad sir. A wide range of topics were covered and you have enlightened us so much.
I want to add something now. Most of the youth always say, they used to say once upon a time, Indians are good in software, but they are not good in hardware. I said this is not fully true. All misguided because of the media way pictures. Now, who is good in hardware? They'll say China is good in hardware. Tell me one scientist in China. Whatever America, whatever England has invented, they do the reverse engineering, they copy it. But America keeps quiet. If you do the same thing, America will fine you. But China, they don't want to do it because it's a cheap labor and they are giving you everything cheap. But they have not invented many things. Most of the things were invented by somebody else. I will tell you who has invented. Now, when you take any mobile, the most selling will be, one is America's Apple. Another is from Samsung, is from Korea. The third one is Vivo, Oppo, etc. from China. Then there is an Ericsson from the Scandinavian countries. Like that, there are a few countries which are selling mobile. We are acquiring. Sony is from Japan. Now, anybody will be selling 10%, 12%, 20%, 30%. Nobody will be selling 70% because there's competition between Samsung and Apple, etc. But whether it is by Samsung or by Apple or by Ericsson or by Vivo or everywhere, there is inside it a chip called Pentium chip. The Pentium chip is made by Vinod Dham of Chandigarh. It is 97%. because AMD is 3%. If you leave, Intel is used by, in Intel, this is made by Vinod Dham. Then inside it, there is a small hole called USB, Universal Serial Bus. Because of that, you are able to charge. Because of that, you are able to take the data from this to another phone. 100%. If there is no charging mechanism, who will buy that mobile? So this is by Ajay Bhatt of Baroda. 100%. These are all hard elements. It's not software, but it's hardware. Similarly, we see watch TV in this. We watch a cricket match in this. Therefore, there is a card called MPEG-4. If it is MP3, you can only listen. But if you want to see video, you must have MPEG-4. That is made by Arun Netravali of Bengaluru. Then we say 4G, 5G, 6G. Now, very soon 6G is coming. In 6G, we already have 200 patents with us. Now, what is this? It is the speed with which things can be downloaded or uploaded. Initially, when they were in 2G and 3G, it was buffing. You could not use Zoom at all. But now you are able to have video conferencing because there is a big. Now, how this is possible? Initially, the cable used was a copper cable. Then they replaced with aluminum cable. With this, you cannot have 4G. Then one Indian scientist called Narendra Singh Kapani came with fiber optics. And small tube of fiber, millions of data can be transferred from here to here. And that is all because of Narendra Singh Kapani. That another India is a hardware, so fiber optics. Then inside it, there is one thing called MIMO. That is minimum input, maximum output. It is also called multiple input and multiple output. It is by a Tamilian Arogya Swami. All these things are 100% given by Indians, but Indians are not proud of them. Therefore, none of them have got any Nobel Prize. It is high time that the youth understand the real power of Indians, talk about the great contributions made by Indians in the latest technology. Then you will see that so many people will get Nobel Prizes.
Thank you, sir. We are confident that the information you provided will surely ignite the young minds of India. Namaskaram.
Dhanyavad to all of you.